Over the years, I've found a lot of good sites on the internet with a lot of good information. One of those sites that I've really enjoyed reading is the loveforlife.com.au website, run by Arthur Christian and his family. Having contacted Arthur over the years, I've formed a friendship with him and his family. Indeed, he does have a lot of information about false flag terror attacks that have happened across the world, and a lot of information about doing no harm. That's right, he promotes love and understanding between peoples of all nations, of all religions, and of all creeds and colors. Basically, this is a website that is promoting peace and harmony amongst all people. However, that's not enough for some people. Some people see this as a threat to their propaganda. About 2 weeks ago, Arthur got a call from the New South Wales Board of Jewish Deputies, basically threatening him to take down his website because of an article he had published about Jews owning 96% of the world's media. So I decided to give Arthur a call and get to the bottom of this particular situation, find out the facts, and see what was really going on.
Hello?
Yes, a very good afternoon. Is that Mr. Christian?
It is, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Steve, how are you, Steve?
Fantastic.
Good, mate.
I haven't caught you at a bad time, have I?
No, you haven't, Steve.
Okay. I was hoping if you could tell me just very briefly what happened in the phone call 2 weeks ago that you got from the New South Wales deputies.
Well, he rang me, he first rang me, he first rang to find out, he wanted to talk to Fiona, and I introduced myself, and then he realised it was me, and he rang about the Love for Life website, and he rang about, querying about what had happened. What? For the first couple of minutes, he was sort of like talking about, like, you have all this wonderful image, you have this Love for Life thing, and it's all really sweet and lovely, and then you have something like this Jewish thing, these things he's complained about, and he said it's all horrible, and he's promoting racial hatred and all this sort of stuff, right? And so, which is what we mentioned in the thing we posted on the front page of the website, what he was on about. So it's sort of, when he complained to me about these documents we were posting in the book, well, I pointed out to him that, we're not racist, we're not anti-Semitic. We're a website that promotes all forms of harm doing, and we show that all religions are bad for man. There's no religion anywhere on the earth that's done anything to solve all the suffering in the world. And I point out to him that we're just showing that it's still, he's contributing to the problem we have, where we have all this harm. I said the same problem with Jews and Judaism and Christianity and all the others. They're all of them are part of the problem, not part of the solution. And he said, I want interested in talking about this. When I mentioned him also, because I was just fired away some of my point of views when he objected about these things we put up, and he was saying about, he was indicating he wanted to he was going to try and do something to take the website down. And he bloody said that to me. He actually told me he's going to do what he can. He's going to contact America. I remember him saying that. And I remember him saying on a few occasions, at least 3 occasions, that he's talking about he's going to do something to get their website taken down. Do something, because it wasn't acceptable. So I remember that.
Well, with this in mind, Steve Johnson decided to give the New South Wales Board of Deputies a little call and find out exactly what they had in mind to take down my friend's website.
Good afternoon, Board of Deputies. Adele speaking.
Yes, very good afternoon, Adele. Do you have a media representative there, please?
We do. Who's calling, please?
Certainly. My name is Steve Johnson.
And you're from?
Southeast Asian News.
Hold on, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
For quality assurance, your call may be monitored.
Hello.
Yes, a very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Where are you calling from?
Fantastic. This is Steve Johnson. I'm calling from Southeast Asian News. How are you today, sir?
Excellent.
Well, sir, I've just got a couple of questions. You are the media liaison for the New South Wales Board of Deputies. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm the chief executive officer and therefore a media liaison. Yes.
Wow, that's a very flashy title.
Well, it is. There's not a lot that goes with it, but the title sounds good.
Do I need to call you sir or maybe bow before I ask you a question?
No, just call me Vic is good enough.
Okay, thank you, Vic. My first question, sir, is that there has been a lot of talk just recently, especially on the internet, about the threats that have been made towards the Love for Life website. Have you heard about those?
I certainly have.
Okay. Well, sir, my first question to you, Mr. Vic, is how come do you think that the New South Wales Board of Deputies are allowed to threaten people and their websites and get away with that with impunity?
Okay, so the fact of the matter is that there were no threats made against the Love for Life website.
Really?
There were no threats made. I had a conversation with the owner, the proprietor of the website, Mr. Christian, and pointed out to him that material on his website was very offensive, was inflammatory, was racially inciting, and so we had a pretty robust discussion, and he was insistent that what he was doing was totally in order. And at the end of the discussion, this was a good 2 weeks ago now, so I don't have the exact words, didn't write down the exact words, but I said something to the effect of we cannot walk away from this material, this racist material needs to come down. So that was the extent of it, and that was then blown up into. I saw what he put on the website, something about threatened to close down the website. There was no threat to close down the website.
Well, Mr. Vick, do you feel that censorship is an important way of Australian life?
The issue is responsibility, and the issue is that even freedom of speech has to have responsibilities that go with it. There is no freedom of speech in our society.
Whoa. Wait a sec. Hold the phones. Did he just say what I thought he said?
There is no freedom of speech in our society. One is not permitted to engage in racial vilification. When we say not permitted by law, that is. And that is what is at stake here. There's a lot of inflammatory material on this particular website, and so that is what is of great concern.
Okay, but my question to you, sir, do you feel that censorship is an important way of Australian life?
Again, the important point is responsibility, and everything...
No, I'm not talking about responsibility, I'm talking about censorship.
Well, I'm talking about democracy, and I'm talking about respect for people and dealing with people with respect, and for the rights of people to conduct their lives in freedom and in dignity without their rights being curtailed. And so democracy has responsibility, and that applies to freedom of speech as well, and that's what the issue is.
Well, sir, yes, that should apply to everybody across the board, which brings me to my next question. If somebody called you out of the blue and threatened you or your website, wouldn't you report that to the police?
As I said, there was no threat made.
No, I'm asking, would you report that to the police if somebody did that?
If somebody did what?
If somebody threatened either you or your website or your way of life?
If somebody threatened our way of life, that would be a serious matter which we would take very seriously, certainly.
Absolutely. Yeah, any Australian who is being threatened in that way would take it very seriously. I'm glad you realize that. Now, my next question, sir, is all the highly trained volunteers, looking at your website, a group of highly trained volunteers who are well trained to deal with these kinds of threats. They sound a lot like a militia. Now, these groups have been identified in the United States recently as a low-level terrorist threat. What makes the SCG any different?
The CSG that you're referring to is this relates to the security of the community, and it's not an issue which we comment about in the public domain.
You don't want to comment about that in the public domain? That sounds a lot like a hidden agenda there, sir.
There is no hidden agenda.
Oh, no hidden agenda, but you don't want to make a comment in public. Okay, sure. Now, in Australia, sir, they have laws to stop making threats to other people. Do you feel that the New South Wales Board of Deputies are above that law?
First of all, as I said a couple of times, we made no threats. We did not make...
Sir, we're past that question. The question was, do you feel you're above the law?
I actually find that question offensive.
You find a question offensive?
I'm telling you that we operate entirely within the law. Entirely within the law.
Well, thank you for that answer. My next question, sir, do you think questioning Israeli policy is anti-Semitic?
Definitely not.
Okay. So it should be a democratic right of everybody with free expression to question Israeli policy within respectful ways?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, I would subscribe to that.
Would you subscribe that it should be against the law to question anything about Israel?
It comes down to what you mean by question. If you're asking anything. Israel is a political entity, clearly, and so everything that it does is within the political domain. And
To hear the rest of this video, click part 2 below.